Greetings! Today I want to speak about perception and perspective. We have millions of perspective and millions of way of seeing things. And the fundamental source of conflict, wars, is because we say this perspective is better than that perspective. My religion is better than your religion. My tradition is better than your. So it's all about perspective and how we interpret the world. So today I want to give you a story about how you see the world, because when I do Divinima Reset, several of the resources try to expand your perspective, because if you are only in your perspective, a kind of your programmed mind, then it is kind of you against the world or you against someone else. So in this video I want you to expand your perspective, and this story is a resource in one of the modules that I have made, because I go deep to expand the perspective. And I talk a lot about in the module about Ubuntu. Ubuntu is that you are another me. It's like that we don't have the identity, oh, me, but the Ubuntu identity is that we are all brothers and sisters. So we are now, when we live as Homo Luminous, we know that all of us are brothers and sisters, and that we have the same source kind of, but we have different expression. So to know what perspective, how you interpret things, and that this actually color the way you respond. So after you have listened to this tale, the tale of the invisible glasses, I want you to reflect on your perspective, on how you see the world and how you can expand your glasses. Yes. So I won't say anything more, just listen to it and give yourself some minute after this to reflect, how is my view of everything I meet. Now, before you jump into this story, if this story resonates with you, please like, subscribe, and share this with whoever you feel that needs to hear it. The Tale of the Invisible Glasses. Once upon a time, there was a small village called Perceptia, where every inhabitant was born wearing invisible glasses. No one could see these glasses, not even the ones wearing them. Yet they shaped how each person perceived the world around them. Some wore glasses that made the world appear bright and magical, where every challenge was an opportunity. Others wore glasses that made the world seem harsh and unjust, where everything felt like a struggle. No one realized that what they were seeing was not reality itself. It was simply their glasses coloring it. One day, the wisest people of the village gathered to discuss one of life's greatest mysteries. What does the world really look like? The old man, old Johan, spoke first. The world is a hard place. It is unfair, and only the strongest survive. Life is a battle, and we must protect ourselves. The young poet Liv laughed and replied, No, the world is filled with beauty and love. We must open our hearts and dance with life's magic. The blacksmith Steelbert shook his head. Nonsense! The world is logical. It works like a machine. Everything has an explanation, and emotion are just noise. Each of them was utterly convinced that their perception was the truth. They could not understand how the others could be so wrong. But there was one person who listened in silence. The little girl Mira. Mira had always felt different. She noticed something strange. People did not see the world in the same way. How could one person experience rain as a curse, while another saw it as a blessing? One night she had a dream. In the dream, she stood before an old, wise woman who whispered, "Everything you see, everything you believe, comes from the glasses you wear. If you learn to take them off, you will see the world as it truly is." Mira woke with a start. Glasses? What could she mean? Mira began to experiment. She asked people what they saw and realized that everyone saw the world differently. She noticed how her mood changed what she paid attention to. She practiced seeing the same event from different perspectives. At last, the truth became clear. No one in the village was seeing the world as it truly was. They were seeing it only as their glasses allowed them to see it. Mira understood that perspective could be shifted. If she changed her glasses, she could change her experience of reality. So she decided to test a theory. When she felt sad, she asked herself, "What if I looked at this through a different lens?" When someone irritated her, she wondered, "What if I were them? How would I see this situation?" When life felt heavy, she asked, "What if this is a dream? How would I play my way through it?" Over time, Mira discovered that it wasn't only subjectivity at play, but relativity as well. Time felt different depending on how much she enjoyed what she was doing. The world seemed big or small, safe or dangerous, depending on her state of mind. The meaning of people's words changed according to her inner state. She realized that no two people were experiencing the same reality, because each person was creating their own version of it. At last, Mira gathered the village and said, "Dear friends, you argue about what the world looked like, but you are not seeing the world. You are only seeing your glasses." Silence fell. Whispers began to ripple through the crowd. Could it be true? Old Joan took a deep breath and said, "What if I have seen the world as a battle, only because that's what I expected to see?" The poet Liv nodded softly. "What if my loving reality is not the only truth? Perhaps there is something greater beyond all of this." The blacksmith Stilberg scratched his head. "What if we have all been living inside our own filters?" They looked at one another. They looked at Mira. And for the first time, they did not see the world through their glasses. They saw the world through each other's eyes. And so, the village of Perceptia was changed forever.